Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Movie Files. Elliot here to give you guys my thoughts on the season finale of American Horror Story Cult, which was titled Great Again. So before I get into my thoughts of the episode and just overall thoughts of the season, I just want to take this moment to thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, this is the season finale, so for everyone that's watched all 11 episodes of our review, as well as just other reviews and things on our channel, I want to thank you guys for that, for subscribing, liking, sharing the videos, and also following us on our other accounts on social media, Instagram, Twitter. So I just wanted to take that moment to thank you guys for supporting us and watching our videos. So with that being said, let's get into tonight's episode. Let's give a quick little breakdown on what we got tonight. So the basis of the episode, we get Kai. We see that he's been in prison for about 11 months. And within that time, he's actually built an army of about 16 followers who are strong believers in Kai's movement. We see that Kai actually has a guard even in his back pocket. So we see that Kai is just continuing to do what he did when he was outside of prison, which was have people believe in him and believe in his cause. In the midst of this, we see Kai kind of telling he's recruiting a new gentleman in prison who needs his protection. We see Kai tell the gentleman a backstory or tell the story of how he got in prison, which we see on the night where he is beginning this, as we got last week. He wants to wants to do something really disturbing, which is kill pregnant women, kind of taking traits from Charles Manson, which we got last episode. So we see that he wants to do this crime, this horrendous crime. And in the midst of all that, we kind of pick up from where we left last week, when we see Allie and Speedwagon having a conversation, which Allie finds out within that conversation that Speedwagon isn't part of the FBI. He's part of a small type of inside job from the state police. So Allie actually kills Speedwagon, tells Kai that Winter was innocent, that it was Speedwagon who was the rat of the group, which seriously pisses off obviously Kai at this point, because he killed his sister in vain. So within this scene, we see Allie telling Kai all this. He really gets enraged and wants to begin his I believe he calls it the 100 killings of Tate, or 100 night killings. So we see that they're going to begin this, but Allie actually calls in the FBI, takes Kai down. Beverly is actually arrested, but we find out later in the episode that she was actually not guilty, because Allie stood up for her, told the police she had nothing to do with it. So we see that, Allie has now kind of moved on. She's taken down Kai. We see that she's running the restaurant. She has a new girlfriend. Everything seems to be going pretty well. So she actually has enough confidence now and is really kind of in another space from what we got in the first half of the season. She's just a more confident woman. She's going to run for Senate of Michigan. So we kind of get all that played out. And while she's setting all that up, we see Kai again is in prison. He has a plan going on. He actually recruits this one gentleman, cuts his face off, escapes jail, goes to one of Allie's rallies or debate. And we think that Kai has the upper hand. He pulls out a gun. He has his followers taking out everyone or having people at gunpoint. And we think at this point that Allie is going to lose. She's going to get killed by Kai. He has this, really good speech. Not what he was saying was a good speech. It was just a good monologue from the Kai character. And we see Allie just taking all this in, and it was such a great moment. We see Allie, she has a gun up to her head by Kai. We see that he pulls the trigger, nothing happens. Kind of flash forward, we see that guard that Kai had on his side throughout the episode was actually working for Allie, which I thought was a really good play, really good moment. And we see Beverly actually take out Kai, which is a really, really cool moment to see, because Beverly's been kind of up and down for me this season. So it was good to see that she actually got to redeem herself. So, after all this event, Allie wins the vote. She becomes the Senate of Michigan. And as the episode wraps up, she's talking to Ozzy, telling him that she's a strong woman. She's going to change the world, and she's going to meet with a more powerful woman group, which she puts on the hood, which alludes to she's going to be now either a follower or a leader of the Scum movement. So overall, episode I thought was a really good cap to a pretty solid season. As you guys know from our previous reviews, there was some hit or misses for me for some character development or lack of character development, some really weird choices of storyline. So with that being said, I thought the episode was a good season finale. The last 2 or 3 episodes for me was really what made the season, because we got to see that change in Allie, and we got great performances from Kai. But I thought, again, this particular episode, before I get into my season overall thoughts of the season, I thought this episode was really strong. Again, Allie, if you guys see my review, I predicted that Allie was going to run for president, which is her ultimate goal, to change the world. But I, had made a theory that she was going to probably run for something, like a senator or what have you, and she did. So it was cool to see that Allie was able to take, she was such a vulnerable, weak character at the beginning, and to become what she was at the end. I thought that was a really nice touch. Again, we just saw that Kai, from the beginning of the season, we just saw how it was just, I believe it was almost like 5 or 6 episodes in. We were just like, how can this guy be defeated? But little by little, they started to break him down and made it known that he could be broken down from within. So I thought that was a good character moment for Kai to kind of start here and end up here, and reverse for Allie, start at the bottom and end up on top. So overall, I thought this was a really solid episode, a really good cap to a pretty, again, which I'll get into now, which is a pretty up and down season. For me, I'll just kind of go into my overall thoughts, kind of start with the bad and then finish off with the good. I'll start off with Allie. Her character to me at the beginning was very annoying. We've seen all these episodes or seasons where Sarah Paulson had weak moments, but at the end, it was her performance that really brought her character to the top. So with that being said, I put it down as a con, but the more and more I think about it, her character was meant to kind of, I think, annoy the audience, because we're so used to seeing her be such a strong character, and obviously she was by the end of this season. But I think some of the moments at the beginning of the season was just a little bit over the top. Some of her acting moments where she was, playing at the clowns, all her phobias and fears was just a little bit over the top for me, which like I said, I can appreciate where she started to where she ended, but again, it was a little rough at the beginning, seeing an Allie character, and just really wasn't vibing with her. And with that being said, her counterpart, her wife, Ivy, terrible character. Again, it was a mixture of not only just the acting and the dialogue, but just it was a kind of a pointless character, to be honest with you. And I think overall, it just comes down to the acting. It wasn't a believable character. A lot of the stuff that was played out, it was good to see that her character die, and Allie was the one that was responsible for it. But I thought that the Ivy character was just really kind of just not a well performance in my eyes, in my opinion. So with that, some other characters I didn't really vibe with or really kind of see the point of was Beverly. Again, her character arc, which is kind of up and down. I thought she was going to be a strong character throughout. We saw that she was broken down in the middle half of the season, but it was just kind of like she was pulled this way or that way. She was like all down for chaos with Kai, down with the scum movement, and back with Allie. It was just kind of a lost character. I think they wanted her to be something. They just kind of lost it within the momentum of the season getting better, and she just kind of got put on the back burners, in my opinion. So I thought Beverly, again, it was nice seeing what she did at the end of the episode, which was take out Kai, which is a good redeeming factor for the character. But I thought a lot of this stuff for her in the beginning of the season and kind of the middle, and again, her back and forth with just jumping on board with any movement, which is kind of a weak character arc for me. Another character arc, or just character in general, was Ozzy. Now, with that being said, I understand why he was in the show. Obviously, he was the plot device, really, between Ivy and Allie, being that what kept them together and everything. But I thought the Ozzy character could have been played out a little bit better. Not from the child actor, I'm just saying, just from a storyline standpoint. I thought that Ivy or Ozzy could have done a lot more. Like, he could have maybe sided more with Ivy and been more attached to her. I mean, I know he had his moments where he gravitated more towards Ivy at points, especially when he thought his mom was crazy. But I thought they really could have played on that a little bit more, especially when he found out that she was murdered, or not murdered. I don't think he knew that he was murdered. I don't even know what he was told about what happened to Ivy. I can't remember. Leave comments in below if I've forgotten. But I thought Ozzy could have had a lot more to do, especially when he found out that Kai was potentially his dad. I thought they was going to take the storyline to maybe, when things kind of turned wrong, that he was going to maybe be more on Kai's side, but again, I thought the Ozzy character was kind of underwritten, and just was kind of another pointless character. Again, I get the intention, but I just thought the execution wasn't that well played out from the character. Again, some other characters, Detective Jack, some Meadow and Harris. I get the point that it was a cult, But again, I thought the characters were just so underwritten, these really throwaway characters. Even Dr. Rudy, I thought he was going to have a bigger part in the season when she really didn't. And then the Scum storyline had a moment for me. It was like, okay, the whole Zodiac thing, and then kind of the way it kind of ended off. The Scum storyline. The only thing I would say is, obviously the thought behind it. Women fighting, speaking up for themselves. Obviously murdering people, not that part of it, but just women coming together and want to change things for the better. But obviously their plan was to murder people and murder men in particularly. But I thought the Scum storyline, and again they kind of had Allie alluding that she was either a follower. Obviously she's a part of the Scum movement, but is she a leader or what have you? I thought that they threw that in a halfway point. I believe it was episode 7. And it just didn't really work for me, that particular storyline. So those are kind of things that didn't really work for me in the season. Other than nitpicking things, some of the performances again were really kind of took you out of the moment, especially going back to the Ivy character. I thought her character was just really over the top and just was ridiculous and just a very pointless character. But with that being said, there were some positives. I did talk about at first I didn't like Allie's character at the beginning, but kind of seeing where they ended her off at the end of the season, you can, when I rewatched the season, I can see those moments where she was just really, really low, didn't have any confidence, and then to end up where she did at the end was a good character arc. So I thought that the first half was a little shaky for me, but then it was nice how they capped her off and just became just a badass and just coming up with all these plans and taking out Kai. I thought it kind of redeemed the character for me for overall. Another thing, Kai. Evan Peters, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, whenever they're on screen together, whether it be this season or previous seasons, they're just electric and great chemistry between the two, and particularly more with Kai. Evan Peters, such a great character. We didn't get much of him last season with Roanoke, and a couple seasons before that, he's been kind of in the background. I remember in Covenant, American Horror Story, Covenant, he didn't talk at all most of the season. So, and that goes with things that he was doing outside, doing the X-Men movies and all that. But I was really glad to see that Kai or Evan Peters playing Kai was much more involved in this season, and he really did shine. He was probably, at first, nothing Sarah Paulson could do was wrong, but again, her first half of the season was just really kind of over the top for me. So MVP for me was definitely Evan Peters playing Kai. I thought that was just phenomenal. But again, seeing them two on the screen together was really great throughout the season when you got those moments. And then the little Easter eggs, we got Alana Winters was thrown in there, Trixie the Clown. I like the little Easter eggs when they can connect the seasons. This is a little nod to the people that have watched it from the beginning, so I really appreciate those. Another thing that I really commend the show, this was really their first time they didn't add any supernatural elements, ghosts, vampires, all the crazy stuff they're throwing in at you with previous seasons. I thought this was their most, obviously the most grounded season they had, and the political things that they brought up and the conversations that they brought up and the ridiculousness of the people that are in office now, and really shining a light on this, how crazy the stuff that was said and how certain people can follow certain people when they say things and do things. I really did appreciate the light they shined on some of the stuff that goes on in our real world in the political landscape. So I really did appreciate how, again, no supernatural aspect, it's more kind of real world things, which is more scarier than a vampire, a ghost, or what have you. So I really did appreciate that they took that real world element of the election and everything that's going on in the world that we're in now and brought it to the forefront of this season. So I really did appreciate that. And another thing, I guess, that's kind of wrapping up my positive, is just the story trend, the story thread throughout the season, just having that realism and the real world brought into the television show, which I thought was great. So overall, I thought the season was good. Like I said, there were some episodes where it was just kind of really bad acting, bad storylines, but the way they capped off the last 2 or 3 episodes for me personally made it a pretty good season. But again, I think the really thing that I really appreciated from the season was just the overall tone, the storyline, the story thread that was throughout, which was, again, our political climate, our real world things that we go through that are terrifying, that we have people in office that have said things, that are doing things, that have done things in the past, and people that follow them, and the hateful things that are said and done. I just thought, again, that they pointed a spotlight, or they really highlighted the ugliness and the scariness of the things that's going on in the world today. So I thought that was a really good a nod commend them for putting that in the storyline and sticking with it, throughout from episode 1 all the way to episode 11. They stuck through it, so I really appreciate that from American Horror Story. So with that being said, I look forward to what they have for us next year. They obviously supplement, they put things in, we have the Versace story and more of the American crime story going on, so we have that to watch for the next couple months before we get our new season next year. So with that being said, guys, again, like I said at the top of the show, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I would love to know what you guys thought about the season, and not just the season, but tonight's episode, the finale. Did you guys enjoy? Did you not enjoy it? Again, just let me know what you guys thought about different characters, who you liked, who you didn't like. So definitely leave comments below. And also, guys, we would love to continue this conversation on our social media accounts, which we're at Movie Files on Instagram, and then we're at Movie Files Live on Twitter. So we would love to continue the conversation there, and definitely follow our channels on that outlet. And then with that being said, guys, we appreciate you guys again watching every episode of American Horror Story Cult review, and we'll be back next year to do more reviews. But you'll see us much sooner than that. We'll have a Justice League review for you guys on Thursday. Super stoked and super excited for that. For all my Justice League DC fans, we'll have that for you guys Thursday. So with all that, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys again shortly. Hey guys, again, thanks for watching that video. If you want to do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like and the share button and leave your comments below. And when you guys are done doing that, follow us on Movie Files, at Movie Files on Instagram, and at Movie Files Live on Twitter. And then if you guys didn't mind, check out some other videos that we have. Of course, you can check out all of our reviews of American Horror Story Cult. We got Stranger Things, we got Walking Dead, so check out those videos. And then over here, all of our movie videos. We just did a Thor Ragnarok, Murder on the Orient Express, and then we'll have some more reviews, of course, this Thursday with Justice League, so check that out. And then once you're done, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. All right, see you guys again shortly.